In the past 2 nights, Project Veritas has dropped evidence of an illegal voter fraud scheme. A man seen on camera holding mail-in ballots or absentee ballots, claiming that he's getting paid to collect them. The left, of course, says, well, there's no real evidence of wrongdoing because a court overturned this rule allowing ballot harvesting. Yeah, ballot harvesting definitely feels like cheating, especially when they do it right before an election. But Project Veritas did not stop there, publishing video actually showing someone exchange cash for an absentee application. At least I believe it was an absentee application. The police are involved. An investigation is underway, and I'm going to show you another story from New York. There is no question about this. Anyone demanding universal mail-in voting is cheating in the election, hands down. Because it's not just these stories. It is an endless stream of just mistakes, impropriety, whatever you want to call it. Take a look at this story from Gothamist. Brooklyn voters receive absentee ballot envelopes with wrong voter name and addresses. What is this? The system's completely broken. How many stories do I have to go over where like mail-in ballots don't work? And it's ignored. And when Project Veritas comes out, what do we get? We get stories like this. Look at this, Fox 9, KMSP. They're not the only one. They're just the one that I chose, where they say evidence is scant. The dudes literally published 2 videos showing people bragging about getting paid to take blank absentee ballots. Okay, I got to clarify. Taking absentee ballots. Someone later says, I saw them. They were blank. They even say in the latest video from Veritas, they're going to fill it out for you. And what do we get in here? They say, one problem, the hard evidence of cash in exchange for votes was lacking. This story was apparently published 9 hours ago, at least what the website says. But it was last night that Project Veritas released the video that Donald Trump himself tweeted out, where you've got someone saying, now take this money for your pocket change. Veritas says, never seen before, cash for ballot exchange caught on camera. It's amazing. So did this local news outlet just not have Google, I guess? Apparently so. Or maybe they're lying to us on purpose. I don't know. But when Donald Trump says things like rigged election, when Donald Trump says things like there's going to be mass voter fraud, and then they come out and claim there's no evidence for anything like this, I have to wonder what their true intent is. No, it seems like, I'm sorry, they're cheating. That's the only way I can explain it. But let's start with what's going on with the Minneapolis police, and then I'll show you the latest update from Project Veritas. They say, Fox News, Minneapolis police investigating ballot harvesting claims amid allegations surrounding Omar. Ilhan Omar responded by mocking President Trump over a report detailing his taxes. You know, this, I'm not a fan of Ilhan Omar, and I would say that I've had complaints about her in the past, and she seems to be, at the very least, unethical in her behaviors. Now I'm just getting angrier and angrier because we literally see these videos and she's just laughing in our faces. It really does feel like she's scamming the American people. The Minneapolis Police Department is investigating claims by right-wing activist group Project Veritas that individuals tied to Rep. Ilhan Omar engaged in illegal ballot harvesting before the election. The Minneapolis Police Department is aware of the allegations of vote harvesting. We are in the process of looking into the validity of those statements, a department statement read on Monday. No further information is available at this time on this. Project Veritas's latest video lit up social media as it came just weeks before a presidential election that is expected to see a surge in absentee or mail-in voting. In Minnesota, the issue has come under judicial scrutiny as Republicans and Democrats battled over a measure that would limit the number of ballots a third party could hold for others. According to the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, the state Supreme Court recently allowed voting to proceed without a 3-person limit on the number of ballots any one individual can collect. President Trump has already called on the Justice Department to investigate the claims, which include allegations of cash for a cash for ballot scheme. This is amazing. Let me tell you what's going on. And I'm gonna use this source that's kind of dragging Veritas. They're defending these videos and these individuals by claiming not actually illegal. They say historically in Minnesota, there has been a 3-person limit for bringing in other people's ballots. But in July, a district court ruling invalidated that limitation. The Minnesota Supreme Court reversed the ruling in September, but that was after the primary on August 11th. The video is buttressed by an interview with a controversial community activist, Omar Jamal. Jamal speculated without evidence that the campaign of Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was behind the ballot harvesting. I love that he speculated without evidence. The dude's literally on camera like, here's money, give me your ballot, fill it out. And then it's speculation that he's saying Ilhan Omar's involved. Okay. Why did they get rid of the 3-person limit? Why are they allowing anyone to go out and just start collecting ballots? That is insane. It's cheating, man. They did it just before the primary. They're doing it just before one of the most important elections. It is straight up cheating. There is no other reason. Look, what they're basically saying is you can go around soliciting ballots from people. Yeah, straight up. Oh, did you vote? And then when a lot of people are probably going to be like, don't know, don't care. Well, vote for this person. Do it right now. And then what happens when you get someone like this being like, I'll tell you what, here's some pocket change. Go grab yourself some lunch. Oh, and by the way, did you fill out your vote? That seems to be what's going to happen. Seems to be what Project Veritas caught on camera. This election seems rigged, and I'm really worried what happens. But I have to admit, though, part of me feels like no matter what happens, nothing's going to happen, right? Like Joe Biden's going to win. There's going to be all these videos popping up. There's going to be tons of evidence of voter fraud or something. No one's going to care. They're going to be like, Biden's president. Congratulations. I got to be honest, though. I thought they were going to cheat in 2016 and they didn't. So we'll see how things play out. So here's a quote. This is totally illegal, Trump said Sunday, linking to an article on the issue. Hope that the U.S. attorney in Minnesota has this and other of her many misdeeds under serious review. If not, why not? We will win Minnesota because of her. And law enforcement saved Minneapolis and Iron O Range. Omar responded on Monday by mocking Trump over a New York Times report detailing how in 2016 he paid $750 in income taxes. That's a lie. That's crazy, man. The lie travels so far. Did you see my video yesterday from my main channel? If you actually read the New York Times story, they straight up say that Trump paid $5.2 million in 2016 and 17. In 2016, he paid $1 million. They straight up say he paid $1 million. His tax liability was $750 because of his losses. That means if you take the system at face value, Trump lost a bunch of money and said, take the extra money anyway, apply it to future debts or liabilities. But what do they say? The New York Times leads the article with $750. And now everyone just repeats it, even though it's not true. It's all dependent upon framing, but there is no framing in which Trump only paid $750. That's just not factually correct. You can argue Trump only owed $750, but it is a fact he paid millions. I can't believe this is. It's just all fake news, man. Now here's where Fox News starts dragging Veritas. They say Project Veritas, a controversial group that has produced a number of misleading videos, claims that a local community leader, Omar Jamal, blew the whistle on the Minnesota congresswoman's alleged corruption. It's an open secret, he reportedly said. She, Omar, will do anything she can do to get elected, and she has hundreds of people on the streets doing that. How is that speculation if he's the one doing it? The investigation purports to show a ballot harvester claiming that he received money to obtain ballots. It also highlights an alleged harvester who boasts about the number of ballots he's collecting for a local official. Project Veritas also claims to have spoken with a former campaign worker who indicated that Omar's team paid voters for ballots. According to Newsweek, Omar's senior communication director, Jeremy Slevin, blasted the investigation as an attempt to delegitimize the election. This is so insane. Quote, the amount of truth to this story is equal to the amount Donald Trump paid in taxes of 10 out of the last 15 years, 0. And amplifying a coordinated right-wing campaign to delegitimize a free and fair election this fall undermines our democracy. They're straight up cheating, man. Here's the actual story from Project Veritas. They say, caught in the act, ballot harvester on camera exchanging cash for general election ballot. She's the one who came up with all this. We are taking the money and we'll vote for you. We don't care, illegal. So there's a source Veritas has straight up saying that Ilhan Omar's the one who did it. Now, here's the crazy thing. According to some local journalists, the FBI knew about this for quite some time. Yet the FBI director, Wray, said that there was no evidence of voter fraud. So what's really going on? Man, the system is rigged. I really wonder, Donald Trump wasn't supposed to win in 2016. I know a lot of people say it, but think about it for real. He was not supposed to win. He's gotten 3 Supreme Court justice picks. The Democrats knew they were taking this. They made a mistake. I think there's one thing they didn't count on. Julian Assange. And I mean it. They did not count on someone to leak emails. Whoever did, they didn't count on WikiLeaks they didn't expect this to publish those details. And people really didn't like Hillary. But they probably thought they'd still win anyway, even though people didn't like Hillary. You combine the WikiLeaks emails, the wiping the server, all of that crazy stuff that pushed Donald Trump over the edge. He became president. Republicans took the Senate in 2016, 2018. They maintained their majority. They thought they had it in the bag. I wonder if they really did cheat, but the cheating they do is based on just surpassing a certain margin of error, right? The idea being we only need to cheat 3% of the vote to guarantee victory. But when the WikiLeaks email thing happens, they ended up guaranteeing the vote in the wrong states. Hillary Clinton wins the popular vote. Trump wins the Electoral College. Maybe Donald Trump wins again. But I got to tell you, if you're a Trump supporter, take a look at some of the data, man. It is time for you to get out and start canvassing. Because if you think you've won and you're sitting back, and so many do, Trump's going to lose. I'll tell you this, man. I have talked to so many people. They're like, nah, he's going to win. And I'm like, are you doing anything? Nah. Are you canvassing? Nah. You mailers? Anything? Nah, he's going to win. Okay, you're going to lose if that's your attitude. Yeah, I see Trump flags everywhere, but Biden signs are starting to pop up, and I'm hearing more and more stories about it. There was a poll that I tweeted about where they polled, I think, 9,000 Trump voters. Or I'm sorry, 9,000, Trump voters and people who supported Trump. And they saw an inversion. People hated Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was crooked, so people abstained or voted for Trump. Biden doesn't have that. That's why he's hiding in his basement. So all these Trump supporters are they just believe they're going to win. And I'm sitting here like, man, y'all are going to lose. Look, I think there's a lot of reasons to suggest Trump is going to win. He needs only 3% of the black vote based on 2016's demographics to win. But you don't know what other changes have occurred. And no one knows for sure. All I can tell you is if you're a Trump voter, you better go out and start knocking on doors. Or I don't even know if that's going to work because of COVID. You see how the game has been rigged? We're talking about cash for ballots. You've got video of them straight up saying, fill it out, now take this money. What does that mean? Did Veritas edit the videos? Maybe. Yeah, maybe it's all out of context. Who knows? Doesn't matter. You've literally got a video of a guy holding a stack of ballots, and the courts have said it's legal to go around collecting ballots. You know what that means? In Minnesota, Democrats are going door to door in Minneapolis collecting ballots. And that means there's probably a lot of people who don't vote. And they're going to go up to them and say, did you vote? And they're going to go, nah, just vote for Ilhan. Give me the vote. And they're going to say, okay, just vote for Joe Biden. Give me the vote. Okay, that's it. Whether they give him cash or not. That's what ballot harvesting is going to do. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, then the people are being franchised or whatever. No, listen. There are people who probably don't care. And these people who don't care and don't know, don't want to vote, and that's their choice. Although I think they probably should be informed and they should know what they're voting for. You're going to get ballot harvesters going door to door and saying, come on, vote and give me your vote and I'll take it for you. Reducing the barrier for the average person who doesn't care and making it very easy to just tell someone who to vote for. Look, if someone comes to their door and they legally collect a ballot for somebody who chose to vote for Joe Biden or Ilhan Omar, well, then that's their vote. Right. I don't like it because there's no integrity in the electoral system if this is the way things go. But now getting rid of that 3-person limit, things are getting crazier. Now, that's crazy, man. Getting rid of that limit means that people are going to go around telling people to vote, only collecting the votes for Ilhan Omar. And I'll tell you where it gets crazier. What if someone goes, hey, fill out your vote. Who are you voting for? And they go, oh, I'm going to vote for, Ilhan and Biden. And you go, oh, OK, cool. Then you go to another house. So you're going to vote for Biden? No, I'm probably going to vote for Trump. Oh, OK, cool. Yeah, I'll take it for you. Chuck, throw it in the dumpster. I think it's funny that they keep saying there's no evidence of voter fraud. And it's like, do you want us to ignore all the ballots found in ditches and dumpsters, all the ballots that have been disqualified? Or how about the ballots that were in New York that were the wrong names and addresses? Look at this. This is from last night. The New York City Board of Elections has mailed out nearly 500,000 absentee ballots ahead of Election Day this November, as many New Yorkers are opting to vote by mail during the pandemic. Yet some voters are already reporting problems with their ballots that could invalidate someone's vote if they aren't caught in time. Multiple voters in Brooklyn told Gothamist that they received a mislabeled official absentee ballot envelope. Normally, the voter inserts their completed ballot into the envelope and signs the outside. But in these cases, their ballot envelopes bear the wrong name and address. If a person signs their own name to this faulty ballot envelope, the ballot would be voided. Amazing. So far, voters in Park Slope, Prospect Heights, Carroll Gardens, Crown Heights, Clinton Hill, Bushwick, Flatbush, Brooklyn Heights, and Sunset Park have already reported the issue. More than 140,000 absentee ballots have gone out across the borough. This is Brooklyn. So I got to wonder, man, a lot of these stories we're hearing about the broken votes are coming from liberal districts. And the Washington Post reported it's going to be black and minority voters and first-time voters who get disenfranchised. It really makes you think. They talk about voter ID and stuff, and they claim that it's racist or whatever, but they ignore the fact that it has been reported widely that it's going to be minority communities and low-income communities who get rejected the most. But it's not even about that. You can play into stereotypes and make assumptions about whether or not, certain groups of people, whatever, know what they're doing. I'm not going to play that game. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I'll tell you this. If you're sending a bunch of bunk ballots to black neighborhoods, I have to question what your intent is. Maybe it's because Trump really is winning with black voters, and they're panicking about that and trying to stop it. I don't know for sure, man. I don't know why they're doing what they're doing other than they're cheating. Donald Trump tweeted about it. We've got numerous stories about it. We've got video about it. And I don't know what anyone is supposed to do. Like, we're all sitting here questioning whether or not the election's going to be legitimate. And when you see more and more stories like this, you've got journalists saying Trump is lying. Trump will come out and say, we're going to have more fraud than we've ever seen. And they say, Trump said without evidence there's going to be fraud. Then you get stories where it's like the ballots are broken. You get stories where people are paying for ballots. You get courts literally overturning ballot harvesting rules to allow people to go and harvest ballots. Even Tulsi Gabbard came out and said ballot harvesting is bad. Why should I have faith in the election? I don't know, man. I'll tell you this to the Trump supporters. Look, I'm going to be voting for Trump. And I think it's really funny how people on Twitter are like, you used to be a centrist, man. Still am. Yeah, it's really that easy. In fact, I used to be a leftist. I'm a left-leaning independent. And if you ignore the fact that people like me are going to be voting for Donald Trump for a lot of reasons, then you're going to lose too. So I can talk about Trump all day and night and how his supporters need to get out there and start canvassing or making phone calls or doing something. You can't just sit back and be like, we're going to win. Nah. I don't think going out and waving flags is necessarily going to do anything either. But I guess it's good to show people that, there are Trump supporters. Biden isn't really campaigning. Biden is not a part of this race, okay? This is one thing we really got to understand. The whole strategy from Democrats is take anyone who is not Hillary Clinton, run the exact same strategy, cheat harder. That's what they're doing. I think if you were to take the same voting demographics from 2016 to today, yeah, Joe Biden's going to win. NBC News said it. Trump needs to have gained support. He probably did. However, the Democrats probably thought we're going to increase the cheating by a larger margin. That way Trump can't possibly win. And then what happens if Trump loses? It's really interesting. There's a story right now in the New York Times, I think I might cover this later, about a New York lesbian voting for Donald Trump, saying that, her 401k was through the roof. She's got a business. You've got the riots, the pandemic, all of this stuff. She's voting for Trump. I look at all of the chaos, all the calamity, all the violence, and I wonder why anyone would want to support the likes of Joe Biden over Donald Trump when just last night, look, normally I do my riot segments in the morning. I talk about the chaos, the fires, and I haven't done that yesterday or today. And I got to be honest, it's scary to say, but it's being normalized. And I did a video, a month ago. I'm like, we cannot allow this to become normal. We must keep calling it out. But at a certain point, I'm just tired of waking up and being, so there were riots again. And now the riots are expected to get worse. Jack Posobiec tweeted about Kenosha. He said, authorities in Wisconsin are now taking measures to prepare for an announcement in Kenosha per OANN source. Is this going to be about, Kyle Rittenhouse or the officers who shot Jacob Blake? And will this result in more rioting and more chaos? I don't exactly know for sure what that's going to be, but I'll take Jack's word for it. He's got sources. probably law enforcement sources, and they're probably saying, yo, they're going to, they're not charging the cop. It's probably the cop. Some people think Kyle Rittenhouse is going to get his charges dropped. I'm not convinced because those charges are there. They're trying to extradite him. I think they're going to announce cop was justified and there's going to be more riots. How? After all the rioting, all the destruction, are we still at a point where people are just ready to vote for Joe Biden? His campaign staff bailed these people out. I also think about Amy Coney Barrett. She to me represents kind of like a stereotype of a suburban mom. She's a successful federal judge, but she's also a small town mom with a family, religious, and she's getting smeared and attacked. I wonder if the Kavanaugh effect is real. It's hard to predict. It's hard to predict, man. There are a lot of reasons to suggest Trump will landslide. Videos like this, violence in the streets, the insults and attacks on people like Amy Coney Barrett. Will Donald Trump actually win the suburban housewives? That's the big question. We don't know for sure. But if you follow the polling, then it would seem that Trump is going to lose. So there was one thing I saw, I think it was from NBC or the New York Times. They said the pollsters have fixed their polls. However, the Electoral College likely is not going to track the way pollsters think it will, even if they did update their polls. Based on updated polling, they think Biden's going to win. But people don't trust it. Now you got to understand that you as a Trump supporter, if you are, you're at a major disadvantage. These people now are underestimating themselves. So that means they're going to go out in force and make sure every single person votes. And I see too much arrogance among Trump voters. Sorry, that's just true. Convinced we're going to win. That's just it. You better fight like this, like your lives depend on it. Now, again, I've heard from Trump supporters they're going to crawl over broken glass to vote for him. But you're up against cheating. You're up against the machine, the establishment, the lies, the smears. Every single thing everything from 2016, they're doing again. So I think you need to realize this race is closer than any of us expect. I'm sorry, man, they're cheating. Okay, and that's just it. So you better pay attention. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you all then.